तुमादिदेवः पुरुषः पुराणः तुमस्य विश्वस्य परम निधानम वेत्तासि वेद्यम च परम च धाम त्वया ततं विश्वमनंत रूप। वायु यमः अग्निवर्णः शशांकः प्रजापतिस्त्वं प्रपितामहस्य नमो नमस्तेस्तु सहस्रकृत्वा पुनश्च भूयोऽपि नमो नमस्ते। You are primeval God and primordial spirit. You are the ultimate shelter of the universe. You are knower and also noble and supreme abode. The universe is fully pervaded by you, being of infinite forms. You are the God of wind, God of death, God of fire and water, the moon God, and great grandfather of beings. We salute to you thousands and thousands, and again we salute to you. In last session, I am describing about the wisdom or intellect, and in this description I have defined what is the best or superior wisdom, and one point have been described. Know the subject of good deed and bad deed. And now second point, best or superior wisdom knows the duty and non-duty. What do we have to do to suit our position, ashram, position superior, intellect? What not to do, this fact is known when a man comes to know his duty according to his varna ashram. He wants to remain separate from unduty, wants to stay away from him, wants to move. If there is no knowledge of duty and non-duty, then the human being does not know the difference between duty and non-duty, and how can he behave? For this reason, what is the reason why great intelligence is indescribable? This fact becomes very familiar. Man can be benefited by the conduct of duty and by behavior of non-duty. Man becomes impure. He suffers a lot of grief by failing through his credit. For this reason, the superior intellect is the one who, knowing the duty of action and unduty karma, motivates him to conduct duty karma in a timely manner and removes it from the conduct of unduty karma. Ordinarily, when a person is in trouble, he forgets his duty and bad work conduct is inaugurated. Apart from this duty to indulgence, a person wanders from knowledge of duty and non-interest and becomes a follower of misdeeds. For this reason, that intellect is superior, which knows duty and nonsense. And third quality of best or superior wisdom is no fear and fearless facts. Fearlessness is the characteristic of specific people. Being afraid is symptoms of inferior people. What are humans afraid of? How is fearless? It is important to know this when we present unethical, antisocial misdeeds, then there is an inherent fear in the conscience that it will have adverse consequences. Why not be as powerful a person as he wants? He is afraid to misbehave. This is the natural instinct of conscience. A man who does not act unethically, then he does not get the moral instinct due to the misdeeds of conduct, and he remains fearless. The person who knows fearlessness to this fact means fear. This misintelligence gets sharper curve in the form of certain decision manifests automatically in this intelligence of a fearless man. He uses intelligence properly. In this way, the intellect of a person with fear is not able to determine karma properly. Therefore, the person who knows fear and fearlessness situation is said to be the superior wisdom. And fourth quality of superior wisdom is knows the bondage and salvation. Now is bonding in human body, and how does salvation means liberation. This fact is known by the best intellect. Normally a person gets trapped in worldly traps and gets trapped by being trapped in worldly traps. The meaning of bondage is that man returns again to death and rebirth. How does not one liberation? The person who comes to know this fact, this his intellect is calling superior. What should be we conduct for liberation, and what is the path of salvation? This fact cannot be known intuitively, simply. To know this, one has to study the text of theology, one has to retire from doubt and study the most fertile doubt in the knowledge of path of salvation. That is, its knowing. The superior intellect knows knowledge of path of salvation without doubt. It is because of knowing the path of liberation that is called superior. And second, medium or moderate wisdom. Three facts are prominent in the medium intellect due to lack of superiority in it. It is called moderate because the middle intellect does not know three facts. There are as follows. I want to define the three qualities, the three facts of medium wisdom, does not know religion and unrighteousness, which is the main wisdom religion, and what is the wrongdoing. She does not know exactly what she is. She is called moderate intelligence. What exactly is religion? The normal person does not know this fact. Human beings have not been spontaneously generated in this world. He has a goal, that is a certain purpose of human life. This purpose is called dharma, arth, kam, and moksha. Among these four objectives, the first objective is religion. That is the first of all. Man should have knowledge of religion and knowledge of conduct and behavior of other religion in a major fact. If the fact of religion was not prominent, then the word religion would not have been called earlier. The specific fact behind connecting religion with this purpose of life is that we should know and practice religion. If the person who does not know this fact first live of life and his iniquity in adverse, then the intellect is in middle category. Humans of such intelligences engage in worldly enjoyment. Worldly enjoyment is everything for them. Their life ends by living of wordlessness. Such people are called lazy men. Second fact, the medium wisdom do not know the work and non-work. The middle class intelligence does not know the difference between work and non-work. When a man comes to know the difference between work and non-work, he behaves and conducts the work and abandons the non-work. Karma is the basic fact in human life. He works from childhood to old age. It is necessary for us to know about the work that we do, whether we are sufficient to do the said work or not. Most of people usually do not work without considering this the work due to which they have great difficulties in future. In this way, the intellect which does not know the difference between work and non-work is called middle intellect. And third fact, the medium wisdom do not know the duty and unduty. A man remains confused about the duty and unduty. Which work should the render? Who is should act not? Doubtless is the main symptoms of moderate intelligence. In the past, it has been said every man has the same behavior according to the Varna and Ashram, which is adequate for mold. Failure to perform duties in a timely manner leads us to sin, which result is misery in front of us. The reason for the rise of sin is to think of duty as an inarticulate. We should do what we deem to be our duty deeds, and what we do not have to do is our non-performing deeds. We should also know about this. The intellect which is separate from the knowledge of duty and nonsense is called middle intellect. An example is that in today's society and behavior, there is a dissolution of the family, there is no harmony between brother, sister, father, son, husband, and wife. For this reason, families are divided. Our father is unhappy, then it is our duty to give him pleasure and serve him. If we do not do this, then we are not doing our duty properly. The solution makes is a follower of sin. In the same way, one brother is happy and prosperous, and the other brother is unhappy or sad. It is our religion to help him properly. If we do not do this duty, we will be part of the misery. This type of intelligence is called middle class intelligence. The intellect does not know the difference between duty and non-duty. And this fact is described about the middle class intellectual wisdom. And now we will define about bad intellect or bad wisdom. There are two main characteristics of poor intellect. Bad intellect considers unrighteousness in religion. All the facts make it worse, since both and discussed below. Considers unrighteousness as dharma. Those which are our duty deeds are mentioned in the superior scriptures, and rendering of those deeds to which Shruti tells dharma is called dharma charana, the follow of dharma. His adverse actions are known as unrighteousness. The inferior intellect does not know the principle of Shruti. Therefore, he considers it unfavorable to act only, considers unrighteous deeds or righteous, just as violence is unfair and unrighteous, but inferior intelligence considers violence to be a religion and performs it in the same way. Drinking alcohol is not religiously relevant, but bad intellect consumes it by telling it to by religious and motivates others. By this work, he himself follows the path of the well-being, and due to his inferior intelligence, he earns double sense by driving others to the irreligious work. He earns double sin, for driving others is to the irreligious work. This is second fact. He earns the main symptom of poor intellect is a consider unrighteousness as religion. One who does not believe in the principle of Shruti and the scriptures ruling and acts contrary to it, he must be considered as one with poor intellect. People of such poor intellects certainly collapse. And bad wisdom, all bad wisdom assume all facts are adversely interpreted. A person with poor intellect remains confused and skepticism is its major demerit. It is his job to draw an adverse meaning of any fact. Bad intellect not only makes adverse meaning but also seek to edit any religious work. Even if such a person studies the scriptures in the sense of the scriptures by repeatedly thinking about the subject matter of subject, they drive its adverse meaning and also take it in their life. One is that people with poor intellect do not study the scriptures, and if someone tells them something about the scriptures, the rules related the religion, then the then they ignore it, and it is minus misinterpretation, just as drinkers say that is in defined scriptures. I have the topics. Sompan. Som is said to be a form of alcohol. Types of alcoholism is also mentioned in Ayurvedas. Because of this, they consider the subject to be for their benefit and follow it with unfair meaning. There are many references which are mentioned with poor intellect. The statement implies that improperly presenting rational, factual subjects or immorally elation methods is a symptom of inferior intelligence. And third facts,